Let's hit the Wayback Machine here a little bit here. These names, remember these names. Chancey Stuckey. Chancey Stuckey?
I do remember Chancey Stuckey.
Jacoby Ford.
A
very fast wide receiver.
Fast.
Yes. You remember C.J. Spiller? C.J. Spiller?
Took him early in fantasy that year.
Tommy Bowden, head coach, 2006 Clemson Tigers. Along with our next guest, teammate of all of theirs. His story from that 2006 season, as well as his time on campus at Clemson University, has been made into a movie I cannot wait to see on Disney Plus that starts streaming next week called Safety. The aforementioned safety from those Clemson Tigers is Ray McElrathbey here on the Rich Eisen Show. How are you, Ray?
I'm doing well. I'm doing great. Excited about everything that comes next.
I bet. So, when did somebody reach out to you to say, let's make your story into a movie, Ray? When did that happen?
That happened back in 2006.
No kidding.
Long time ago. Mark Chardy, the producer of the movie, as well as another gentleman, a guy named Todd Ellis.
And said, let's make a movie out of what was going down on campus, and let's talk about what was going down on campus involving your brother Famar, and tell us the story that happened, and it's clearly the inspiration for this film.
Yes, one fun summer, my brother came to visit from Las Vegas. They were living at the time. He came to visit me at Clemson. And due to my family situation, my mother she had addiction to crack cocaine, and my father was going through some tough times as well. Due to that situation, my brother Famar didn't want to return home. They were staying in a weekly motel in Las Vegas at the time. And the situation was dire. And as opposed to going back, he said he would rather go to foster care, and that's when I stepped in. Because I felt like that was a little bit too far. And he asked, could he stay? And I thought it would be a better idea. I couldn't do any worse. And that's what set everything else in motion.
Stay on the campus in the dorms with you at Clemson.
Yes. During my college football days, as me being a student athlete, yes, stay on campus with me.
And he was 7 at the time, Famar? 7 years old?
Well, Famar was 8.
He was 8.
Famar was 8 initially, then that turned to 9, then yes. And then by the time the story broke, he was pretty old.
I mean, so what was it like to have an 8, 9-year-old in a dorm? Also, I imagine at the time you didn't run it up the flagpole, right? You just said, this is my brother. He is not going to foster care. He's looking at me and saying, hey, Ray, what if I stay here? And that's the end of that, right? That was what was going on.
Yes, it was not much to talk about at the time because I had been told it was better to apologize than ask for permission on this particular situation.
Yeah, right. That's a good way to put it.
Yeah, so I kind of went because I wasn't sure about what I wanted to do and how I was going to go about doing it. So there was no system in place in which to deal with it. And so I knew he was staying there, but how it was going to take place, I was unsure. So I just told my roommate, like, hey, my brother's going to be here for a little while. Well, how long is a little while? I mean, until we leave, probably until we graduate. And so he was with it, and we kept moving. Kept it going. It was a wonderful situation.
I'm sure Ray McElrathbey here on the Rich Eisen Show talking about the inspiration for the movie Safety based on his life and times with his brother in Clemson. Look, I don't want to give away too much. People need to see the film, but was there a time when you thought that this wasn't going to stay the way that you wanted it to be? Is there a time in this relationship with your brother that this bond could have been ripped apart based on real world saying this can't be, this is not allowed? Ray?
Yes. Well, there was not that the NCAA is a villain, but at the time I was suspended by the NCAA due to me breaking the rules that were in place at the time, which was a student athlete couldn't receive an extra benefit because of their likeness. And since someone was only doing something for my brother because of my likeness, then I was suspended in that situation. But the NCAA came back and stepped in and granted me a waiver. One of the things that they didn't have to do, but they stepped up and took the opportunity to do right by me, and I appreciate them for that. And here we are.
What did your teammates do for you back in the day?
Oh, man. There's guys that I can forever thank. Start with, God rest his soul, Gaines Adams. He was another guy on my team.
Oh, right.
Back in those days. Because I heard you bring up Chancey. Chancey was one of the first guys to, start hanging with my brother and picking him up and keeping him when I didn't necessarily have to keep him. So those guys were very privileged. Anthony Waters was also a guy. He ended up playing with the Saints for a little while, who was also there for my brother. And not to mention all the guys in my class, the Chris Chancellors of the world, the James Davises, Paul Muse, Chris Clemens, a bunch of those guys stepped up and helped out. And
So,
not to discount the Clemson community.
of course, yeah, because the community did step up too, right, Ray? I mean, can you give me a little bit of detail on that? What they did when they heard about your story?
The coaching staff at the time, the Spences, Coach Rob Spence and his wife, Coach Sweeney and his family were very helpful at the time. Just as far as picking up my brother and dropping him off at school and picking him up from school and things like that. The community came together and they created a trust fund for my brother, which was allowed by the NCAA to help me take care of him. And the Clemson community came through, as well as the overarching community of all the Clemson fans and Clemson family that I luckily be a part of.
Ray McElrathbey here on the Rich Eisen Show, and you mentioned likeness in terms of the NCAA, but when it comes to having somebody portray them in a film, I mean, the first choice is Denzel. Let's not kid around, but even Denzel would admit, the age difference is tough to pull off. Jay Reeves is playing you. The actor Jay Reeves is playing you. What was your relationship with him and how you downloaded him with the real stuff?
Well, me and Jay relationship became very intimate. For the most part, we knew each other very well once we began to film, because we only lived a mile away from each other in Los Angeles when he got the script. When he was also cast to play me, we didn't know each other before then, but once he was cast to play me, he was giving me a call, and we turned out we lived less than a mile away from each other, or less than a mile and a half away from each other, and attended the same gym. So we were able to hook up immediately once he was given the role, once he was rewarded the role, and so we hung out. I let him meet my family and everybody else in my family, and tried to get to know me better so he can best portray me in the movie.
And how much of your family is still around, or where is everybody today?
My whole family is still around.
Oh, thank goodness.
A lot of times with the movie, people would only think that Famar is my only sibling. But I have 7 siblings. Mm-hmm. I have three more brothers and 4 more sisters, and not to count the other families that I was part of because I was raised by my coaches. I guess athletics has been a big part of my life the whole time. So I have other brothers and sisters from my coaches' families that I lived with growing up. And so that's kind of where I got a lot of the ideas about people taking care of, or getting temporary and extended custody for kids, because I went through the same process as a young man myself.
Okay. So, and what's Famar's memories of all these times as a 9-year-old?
Famar had a wonderful time, as far as I know, from what he's told me. Famar actually still lives right down the street from Clemson. I only visit for extended periods of time in South Carolina, because I go back and forth between there, South Carolina, Atlanta, and California. But it's a wonderful experience. He's doing well. He's excited about everything that comes with the movie, and hopefully you'll probably give it a chance to talk to him soon here. And him and my mother are also helping me with my foundation, which is Ray Ray Safety Net Foundation. And so it was just trying to help kids like ourselves make it through the struggles of life, especially during these times.
And the scenes where, Clemson's coming on the field, that looks like the real deal, man. This looks like as close to the real McCoy as you can possibly get, these scenes.
Well, we were in Clemson.
Yep.
It was during the actual game, so I guess it's the closest possibly we can get.
How cool is that? That is amazing.
Yeah.
All right, so let's again, I'm sure it's been a while since you've competed. You on the same field as DeAndre Hopkins. Go. What happens? You and DeAndre.
Me and DeAndre 1-on-1.
Yeah, right. What do you got?
I mean, I win. The best out of 10, he gets 4.
Okay. All right. So yeah. No, I mean, because we're Clemson on Clemson. You're okay.
Yeah.
All right.
He's my guy. He's consistent as most, and he's probably the best receiver in the NFL currently.
Oh,
and so
okay.
And so, believe me, it's a lot to say that for him to get 4 out of 10.
Okay, so let's go 10. Let's go 10. Okay, let's go 10 snaps. You, Ray McElrathbey, are disguising your coverage. Deshaun Watson, go. What do you got?
Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
I go 5 for 5. I give him a better chance.
Okay. Are we batting down passes? Are you picking him off? You're taking it to house? I mean, what do we have here, Ray? Come on.
I'm batting down passes because typically he extends the play, which makes it a lot harder to cover who I'm checking. So it'll probably be me, rallying late, knocking down the pass as opposed to picking and taking to the house.
Okay. All right. But let's be honest. When it all comes together, though, you come out on top, regardless of whatever championships they might have won or how close they came.
Yes,
or things like that. I understand.
It just over time, I'm consistent. Right. That's what I know. If I stay consistent and stick to whatever the method is at the time, okay. I should come out on top.
But you're also
I play the long game.
There you go, long game. But you're also highly community minded, minded people and human beings first. And I cannot congratulate you enough. I mean, this is amazing. Your life story is a Disney movie. That's a fact, and congratulations on that to you and your family. And what's the name of your foundation again, so we can get everybody's hooked up with that?
It's a Ray Safety Net Foundation.
Ray Safety Net Foundation. Okay.
Yes.
Well, everyone should go seek that out.
Safety Net to catch everyone.
Very good. Awesome. Ray, congrats again to you and your family. Enjoy all the trimmings and of a movie coming out with Disney and all these. And I appreciate you joining us on this program. Thank you.
Well, I appreciate you all for having me.
You got it.
If we only can get through this together, so just understand that. I just want everybody to know that.
You bet. Thank you. Right back at you. That's Ray McElrathbey here on The Rich Eisen Show. Everyone, check out Safety on Disney Plus next week.
Wow, what a story.
Right, what a story.
Oh, my gosh.
What a story. But DeAndre only gets 4 off of him.
We'll have to tag DeAndre in that video.
I don't know. Ray might be covering him like the rest of the league, which is hack him the entire time and hope there's no flag comes.
That's true. How many flags are thrown?
Hack a nuke.
Hack a nuke is happening. No doubt about that. Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.